Give all praise, Yahbashim Yosha, Bashim Rakakadash. Honors, elders, apostle, man, and true for down like-minded ones relating to truth and knowledge. And the Wadi Yahbashim Yosha, with the spirit of elders, apostle, men, and true for like-minded ones relating to this truth and knowledge, so we can know this truth and knowledge and call Yahbashim Yosha, Bashim Rakakadash. Give all praise, Yahbashim Yosha, Bashim Rakakadash. This is a Forbes news video. This relates to a scam, Social Security video. It's about 4 minutes. We're going to play this.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. With $35 trillion in debt, we don't have union money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon. And there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. So I'll get off my horse there. It's good that we have this, because we got, I get a little pension check from education. I was part of a union. It's not going to help people. People are going to have to continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Mr. Dender? Can you say something about Social Security and it being taxed? For some reason, we're taxing people for the second time on the Social Security that they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, when Social Security was first founded, those who established it, it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%. So we're talking about thousands of dollars more per year. It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent to today's dollars of earnings. But over time, it has expanded massively, and the money has been spent every year. So whereas everybody thinks this money's been set aside for me, no, for the past 13 years, every dollar that has gone out of workers' paycheck.
I'll play that part again.
It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent to today's dollars of Security trustees. It needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%.
Securities they put into an account.
Yeah, and I'd like to point out, when Social Security was first founded, those who established it, it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5%. So we're talking about thousands of dollars more per year. It also was actually only originally recommended that the tax be up to $66,000, equivalent to today's dollars of earnings. But over time, it has expanded massively, and the money has been spent every year. So whereas everybody thinks this money's been set aside for me, no, for the past 13 years, every dollar that has gone out of workers' paychecks has gone immediately to pay promised benefits. And that's what happens when you have a system that enables those in charge of it to spend the money in the immediate term and leave the buck to the next generation that's coming along. And because Social Security has grown so much, it's actually to the detriment of lower income workers in particular, who have to pay such a large share of their tax, their paycheck to Social Security. They have little left to save for retirement. And then lower income and African American workers have the lowest life expectancies. So they are the most likely to get nothing back in return. 1 out of 4 African American men will die between the ages of 45 and 64 after having paid into this system for decades, tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they might get nothing back.
What's the solution?
I think we ultimately have to shift towards a universal benefit system. That's what true social insurance is. It does not make sense that we are paying the biggest benefits to the highest income earners. So gradually over time, I think we need to bend down the benefits for the middle and upper income earners, actually increase them for the lower income earners. Look at things like indexing retirement age to life expectancy, more accurate inflation index, and I think that workers need an option to have their money in something that actually earns a positive rate of return and that can't just immediately be spent by Congress.
Have a 28, 29-year-old, two boys, got jobs, working hard, paying Social Security. They ask me all the time, Dad, will I ever see any of that money? Will they see it?
I think they will see some of it. That's the exact same thing I hear whenever I ask a group of younger workers. None of them raises their hand. So I think that there will be something there, but it's not going to be what has been promised.
Mr. Stevens, you got anything to add to that?
Thank you, Senator. What I would add is when we talk about Social Security or we talk about pensions, the two things they both have in common is that guaranteed income. You know what you're going to get, generally speaking, at the end of it. What I reference in terms of protected retirement, we have developed now solutions that get at both of those in a very efficient way. And they also address the issue around market volatility because we have step-ups and lock-ins. And it's a very efficient way to deliver that to millions of Americans that we've been talking, and that's all because of what you all did around Secure Act 1.0 and 2.0. They have put us in a position to do that. And that's why I'm really encouraging us to have every 401k plan, 457 plan, 403b plan, and at least one of those solutions so that the American workers can choose. If they want to know what they're going to get in retirement, we can deliver that for them.
Young people of all ages ask me, why can't we put our money in our own 401k instead of put it in Social Security? Is there an answer to that?
I think what I love is that they're asking the right question. Savings in any way is a good thing, and I think there's a place for Social Security, there's a place for pensions, and there's certainly a place for what we're doing in 401k plans.
Thank you.
Shalom, that was relating to talk about Social Security, retirement, different things relating to government spending. During the Senate Health, Education, Labor, Pension Committee hearing, Senator Tommy Tuberville, Republican of Alabama, questioned witnesses about Social Security's prospects in government spending. So basically, they were talking about, people put into the Social Security and system, and are they going to benefit from it when they really need it? We talk about that lady talk about one of 4 African Americans between a certain age to 64, I think 45, 64, something like that. They'll put into it lifetime of money into the Social Security, but they won't see it. You know what I mean? Either they'll pass away before they can really reap the benefit of it, or they're going to have to continue to work, or whatever the case might be. They're not going to benefit off of it, man. Let me get a scripture, get 2 open real quick. And she was talking about 2% would jump to 12%. It's supposed to stay at a certain number. It never was meant to go beyond a certain point. Scripture says, I'll never trust thy enemy. As iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. That's on Sirach 12 and 10. So we'll get a few scriptures real quick, man. And the way this system is now, economically, it might not be a Social Security. You might not see a Social Security. Psalms 58. The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Lies goes to deceit, man. Their poison is like a poison of a serpent. They are like a deaf adder that stoppeth the ear, which will not hearken to the voice of the charmer, is charming never so wisely. So they're speaking lies, man. Job 13 and 4. Go to that one. Job 13:4. It's a quick lesson. But ye are forgers of lies. Forgers goes to falsifying, falsifying, forgery. Something that's not genuine, no authentic or genuine. Ye are forgers of lies. Ye are physicians of no value. So they're of no value because they're lies, man. You know what I mean? It's of no value, man. This Social Security system, man. It's just what it is, a farce and a scam, man. It was never really to benefit really the people who needed benefit. Let's go to Isaiah 10 real quick. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and write grievousness which they have prescribed. So these decrees, statutes, laws, statutes, policies, which they make, which don't benefit the majority of the people. So they're grievous, man. And turn aside the needy from judgment, and take away the rights from the poor of the people. Relating to the Social Security thing, for example, man. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing. That's a big issue, man.
How you doing, man?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
So turn aside the needy from judgment, and take away the rights from the poor. The poor, man. They're supposed to benefit off certain things, man. They're not. You know what I mean? Social Security, being denied that, being denied things they put into the system, man, and perhaps not getting it, man. So you denying the people certain things, man. All right, turn aside the needy from the judgment, and take away the rights from the poor of my people. The widows may be their prayer, and they may rob the fatherless, man. So, and let me see, number 3. Yeah, that's it. Let me go to Habakkuk 2. Because relating to that is a big scam, man. It's just a big scam. Number 6. Let me see. Hold on. Woe unto them that pile up stolen goods, man. So things that's not his, man. And make himself wealthy by extortion, man. And how long must this go on? That's the question, man. Will your creditors suddenly arise? Will they not wake up and make you tremble? Then you will become their prey. So they're going to realize certain things, and they're going to become a target. You know what I mean? Because you have plundered many nations, the people who left will plunder you. For you have shed human blood, and you have destroyed the lands and cities of everyone in them. And so that's what's happened, man. So all these things are going to come back, man. All these things are going to come back pertaining to how they dealt with a certain people. Using forms of violence, deceit, deception. You know what I mean? It's going to come back with them, man. Let me get it from a KJV. There we go. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and saying, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. For as that scripture says, stolen lands, different things taken relating to things from certain people, man, you know, that were rightfully theirs, and they took it through violence, through bloodshed, violence, and made it theirs, which was not. How long? And to him that ladeth himself up thick clay. That thick clay is that accumulation, man. You know what I mean? For example, that would be this so-called optics of wealth, man. You know what I mean? Actually is debt, man. It's a debt base, man. They had to print money to have the illusion of wealth, man, which would be that quantitative easing, man. But actually, it's just thick clay. It's just accumulation of debt based on good faith and different things, man. But they're broke. You know what I mean? The Social Security is a scam and different things. It was a scam. You know what I mean? It always was. You know what I'm saying? So, the people are not going to benefit relating to, you know, putting their money into, they trusted into a system, they thinking, that it's going to, in return, benefit when they need it most. But it never was going to come to pass, man. You know what I mean? So they've been deceived, man. Let me see what's up in the scriptures. So scripture talk about never trust thy enemy, as his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. You know? So he's deceived the people, man, believing to thinking of certain things, man. This is a few scriptures. Let me just get something real quick. Proverbs 12 and 19, the lips of the truth shall be established forever, which is the righteous, but the lying tongue shall be for a moment, which is the wicked. So that lying tongue is only for a minute and for a season, man. Go to Luke 8 and 17. Nothing that is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known come abroad. You know, so anything that's secret and hid is being made manifest, being made known, man. We get 12 and 2 real quick. Scripture talks about be not ignorant anything great or small. Ignorant means be not ignorant in general relating to great or small matters. That's Sirach 5 and 15. We get 12 and 2, Luke. And the poor relating to the low income workers, as they were saying, they're not going to get no Social Security like that, because they don't make enough to really put into the system like that. You got to make a certain amount of money where you can put 401 and Social Security and different things where you can benefit. The low-end workers, man, they don't make enough. But they have to be put as the burden bearers for the upper elite, man. The 99% had to take on the weight of what that 1%, man, because they get taxed less, but they'll put it down on the little guy, you know what I mean, because they can. Scripture talks about Proverbs, was that 22? The riches, The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. The rich ruleth over the poor, man, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. I was going over that. Scripture talks about us in 22, Proverbs. 18 and 23 talks about the rich, the poor uses entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. So the poor is is subjugated and at the mercy, subjugated and subjected to, relating to the ones in power, man. That was Proverbs 18 and 23. The other one was 22. So that's what that goes to. What's the other one? I want to get Luke. Luke 12 and 2. Here we go. Luke 12 and 2. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So anything covered is going to be made manifest, going to be made, is going to be revealed, made known, man. Neither hid that shall not be known, man. Therefore, whatsoever ye speaketh in the darkness shall be heard in the light. And that which ye have spoken in the ears in the closet shall be what? Proclaimed, announced upon the housetops, man. So anything that was made to be spoken in the dark, in the secret, it's going to be made manifest through the light. And anything that was spoken in the closet, which goes behind closed doors, is going to be proclaimed, announced, and made known. So this truth, for example, is being made known. Truth about things that was hidden as a form of behind the closet, behind the veil. That veil's being removed. That curtain's being removed and is being exposed. The truth shall what? Make you free, as scripture says, man. So the truth is being exposed, man. About this system, about their true intentions regarding the system, and they're being exposed, man. It's like that video is it's a scam, and there won't be no Social Security. If you lucky, if this system continues to afloat relating to economically and financially, and without without it collapsing, man. And what I'm saying is, how much more until that bubble, that balloon bursts, man? You know what I mean? It's not going to continue forever, man. You know what I mean? So that being said, this is something short. I hope it helps in some way. Let me get those scriptures I wanted. Let me see. I was quoting them. Let me get it real quick. Proverbs 22. Because the Social Security ultimately is supposed to benefit after you're done work and you're retired, and you're supposed to benefit off of that, man. You know what I mean? Because you paid into a system. But it was all a lie, man. You know what I mean? Let me see. It was Proverbs 22 and 7. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is a servant to the lender. And the younger generations, the millennials, Generation Z and all that, they're not going to see certain things because by then, from an economical financial state, there might not be nothing there for them to receive anyway, man. You know what I mean? So, and relating to how much time is left, it may not be that much time left, man. You know what I mean? So you never know. All right. The poor uses entreaties, which goes to beg and beseech, but the rich answer roughly. So the rich are what? Very disrespectful. They answer roughly, so they're crude, they're rude, and they're not respectful because they're in a position of power. They don't have to respect you because they're rich. You're poor. You're subservient to them, man. You're a serf. You're a slave. You're a servant to them, man. And that's what that servant goes to, a slave and a serf, man. You know what I mean? The 99% are a slave and servant to this system, man. Where the 1% rule it, man. And that being said, this is something. Hope this helps in some way. Whoever listens, and give all praise, y'all. Bashim Yashah, Bashim Makakada, Zaya, Washawan.